Brings will join us. Okay, so going to into the unknown, a deep dive, you can say, into dark elves of Orion. Um, Realize these beings also control reptilian beings. They control insectoid beings, and they don't make themselves known at all. So it makes that curious of how is anybody going to connect to any of this, but just putting it out there and see where it goes from there. Reconnect. See, check the stream if it's even working. Okay, good. It's working. Not sure about that. I guess everybody's out trick or treating or setting fireworks off, setting themselves on fire, whatever comes first. So, so the dark elves are, just I believe this is they play a big role in our world's manipulation. All that you don't see them, you don't hear about them. They're not there to be heard or seen or anything like that. So it's just and reptilians can be programmed just like us, and so insectoids also. So like you send in the reptilians to manipulate us, and you send in the insectoids to manipulate us. You just go on and on with that. No, it's not to say that Orion's like this dark. It just has a darkness with it. Orion has everything. So it has good, bad, the Wild West. It has nights. It has the future, the past, whatever it is. Probably has the 1950s. JFK is probably president somewhere there somewhere. Maybe he's an elf being himself. Maybe he's a toaster, as a president somewhere. So, the elf energies are. It's dense. It's hard to tap into. They don't want it to be tapped into. They don't want you to talk about them. But they have the power of the earth also. So they can, when they use their magic, they use the earth's energy to get what they want. So it sounds like a fantasy, but we're kind of living in a fantasy right now. I mean, humanity lives in a fantasy thinking Biden's, president. So we have a fantasy right now. You have Nancy Pelosi as a creature. And the news is ignoring all that. What a joke. You have Washington elites manipulating people. So, just you have Hollywood elites, but the Washington elites are obviously a lot more powerful and psychotic at the same time. Not all of them are psychotic, but quite a few of them are. How do you get a job in the Pentagon? How do you get a job as a CIA director? I mean, come on. You're just going to grab anybody? No. It's whoever they groomed, whoever they sold out, whatever. They don't just pick anybody to do those jobs. In Revolutionary War, the past life, so there's the 4th of July, where people set people on each other on fire, and this is where the United States freed ourselves from the Pilgrims, or the Russians, or whoever, or the British. People don't know, so who cares anyway? It doesn't really matter anymore. From the aliens, who knows? The Revolutionary War, past lives. So those have had past incarnations of that, which I forgot to post something here, but it's basically people have had those lifetimes, the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. They have a lot of guns. They're waiting for World War III to come, and so far it hasn't happened. All he has high gas prices and man-made virus and so on. Washington elites are, doing their little Illuminati bloodbath, whatever they're doing over there. So, the thing is, they're talking about Civil War. Now, it can be orchestrated, yes. But so far, we haven't seen that easily because they had that back in 2020 with all the riots and everything. So they can easily create something. But it doesn't look like anybody's really creating any revolution. We'd be hearing about it by now. So if it's going to be a civil war, it's going to be manufactured because we're not seeing anything. Unless it's really quiet, unless they're all hanging out at Walmart or something at night. I mean, do you hear about any revolutionary war going on right now? Any civil war? Not in the United States. Oh, this is manufactured. So it could be. It's hard to say. Yeah. So wherever we're heading into the July energy, because I felt something was going. Something always happens on these holidays. Not always, but we had a shooting somewhere. I forgot where, but so there you go. And then they're going to ride that story for a while, and then I guess they're going to go into some whatever manufacturer situation. So politics as usual. They're going to go back to manipulating society, do what they do best. Pleiadian blue people basically. I don't know. I just felt like connected to blue people. India has blue people, and a lot of our early humans are blue too. So Atlanteans are blue. Some people are yellow. Some people are green. Of course, I believe a lot of Africans are blue at one time. Then their energy shifted, and I believe that some of this were turned black or something like that. I don't know the story on that one. It doesn't matter really. But we had a lot of blue people in the past, so anyway, so the Revolutionary War energy, that should be interesting. It's happened to that. It's pretty obvious, right? I mean, those that just feel like we're going to go into a civil war, they have like a million guns. They're preppers, all ready for the end, because they couldn't prep back then. Now they can prep now, and now they can have their own army currently, but there's no war. There is a war going on, obviously, but it's not the war that they're looking for. So, well, something wrong with being prepared, but geez, they're kind of like overdoing it a little bit. But that's a healing. I guess if you have an AK-47 at home, that's a healing for some people. Whatever works, right? So, okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Oh man, I came unprepared again. Jeez, I forget again. We just do it this way. Okay, so I'm Tony Com. We're at prep sessions. I have a schedule. I have a shop here. I'm in middle of June right now. Yeah, that's gonna go slow. Yeah, it's a dirty job. Nobody wants to do it. So, and okay, so elf energies. Now, I realize this is not for everybody to tap into something like this. These guys are not everyone's really have experience with these type of beings either. They're kind of hidden. Of course, you have somebody like this also. I guess his name is I forget his name. I can't pronounce it. Prince Nudana. Either way, this is not, and that doesn't mean that this guy is bad. He might have been a villain in this, but I think some of these elves are good. They just look kind of spooky. But when you have guys like this, yeah, they might be up to no good. Let's put it that way. I mean, this is some powerful sorcery here. Of course, there are female elves also. I don't know if they have that here, and he was hard to find too. But at least it gives you kind of an idea of what we're dealing with that we can't see. Yeah, they control reptilians, they control insectoid beings, they do everything. And for what reason, they're not always going to make it known to us, at least right now, because it's like none of our business for right now. So we'll try to tap into some of that. I'm being blocked as I talk about it. But I believe there's also a curiosity. The more that you know about them, the more that they give us a slight hint that they actually feel like it. So, but there is like an elf war going on. It's like they're so powerful they can't even be messed with. They can't even be manipulated. They can't be, they're protected. These are the ones that are causing us difficulties. So, and these guys live in Agartha, I believe. They live in Orion, but a lot of them are living like stationed here to keep an eye on us, keep us locked down for various different reasons. And you have the human population that's programmed. Realize that it's humanity is not programmed to think like this at all, for obvious reasons, to stay out of their business. But so they're not really afraid of us. I mean, they know they're going to be talked about. They're pretty smart too. They're also very advanced too. So they know we're going to start talking about them, and not that we can do anything about it. Anyway, the American Revolution. No, a lot of these paintings are kind of like glorifying. You know, obviously there's a lot of death, and I don't know. Just doesn't it seems like it's all just glorified. It's just romanticized. But I think it was far from romantic back then. I mean, even this looks pretty staged. There's even propaganda back in the old days. So it's like, okay, whatever, man. A bunch of white people trying to save whatever. It's all a bunch of Masonic beings manipulating society anyway. Enough of that. Okay, we're going to the dark elf energies of Orion, going to Revolution War, the past life energies, and Pleiadian blue people. Might go back to the elf energies too, so there's different ways of looking at it. Not sure how much they want to reveal or talk about anything, or we just kind of give a vibe from them. They do know. Yeah, they do know how to pull energies from worlds such as ours, like suck the life out of us, and they're not going to show themselves at all. They're going to just what for? They have nothing to prove to us. I mean, we can get to their level, but of course, they're going to keep us down at our level as long as they can. Because I mean, if we evolve to see them, that's good progress. I don't think they care really. If you can get there, I mean, you can start seeing them, feeling their energies. Not the easiest thing to tap into, though. I'm not sure if you want to see these guys either. That's another thing. So, like I said, they use reptilians against us. I mean, look how we're being manipulated. They do the same thing to reptilians. They just program them. Same thing as insectoid beings. Just program them. It's like insects get where reptilians can't. And you can say this all has an archon energy there, but that's not the main. That's like a part of this, but it's not the main. There's a lot of layers to all this. So, well, it's not. Yeah, like I said, not everybody's gonna be able to feel these guys or tap into them. They're not the easiest to tap into, and they don't want to be tapped. They don't want you to find them either. So, and you're not going to see like statues of them anywhere or anything like that. They're just hidden, for obvious reasons. So yeah. Another thing, the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. Anytime you have knights and all of that, that's all part of Agartha. That was part of it. It's not all of it, but that kind of connection to these guys to a certain level. Of course, these guys are just high power magic, basically. They get like 6th dimension. They're probably higher than that, but they get 6th dimension magic. So it's not for everybody. Let's put it that way. Yeah, when get a vibe from them. Yeah, when they can think and just manifest it just like that. Maybe not always for the best. Like I said, they don't see us as any threat. Just have a Black Friday sale and to see where we are. Or a fireworks and when people are setting themselves on fire. It's like, yeah, we're not a threat. Not really. We got a long ways to go. So, all right. You can't prove these guys either. They're not going to make themselves known. I keep saying that because it's true. So, there might be other magic. With magic, you can find them. And magic's not for everybody. So, for obvious reasons, you got to know what the hell you're doing. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. we have consciousness of the elf energies. So we are all sides, both sides. Elf beings feel like yes, this earth owes them. This planet is owed to them because they help protect it from being destroyed by various different beings. So if it's going to be under their control, they do whatever they want. Yes, they might have a king or a queen set up, which is part of the Orion agenda, only just to keep the Commodores busy, keep them under control, to show you who has a reign over this earth. So there is a royalty. It's also connected to the Vatican because the Vatican has a lot of magic connected to it. It is not, of course, for everyone, but there's a lot of dragon energies connected to the Vatican also, keeping a lot of it hidden. So, for example, you can go to the Vatican if you're there. You can also do remote viewing and just feel like there's a whole nother land there. The Vatican is kind of like a key. It's like walk the world down, but you can unlock it, understanding its secrets. Realize that most of humans aren't really ready. It's just on an energy level. It's more on an astral level. It's not like you can open up a tomb and walk down the stairs. I mean, yes, if you know the right people, but most likely it's going to be forbidden. At least on an energy level, you can tap into it. Remote viewing is probably the safest and see what you see there. Yeah, you might see some elf beings just looking right at you. It's like, we're not impressed. So, but it is one of the, it's just basically to, religion is like a lock on society to keep society out of the way of those that are truly here, the alien energy. It's not just Atlantean energy. There is an Atlantean energy, but Atlanteans are used against each other and destroyed. So it's not really, there is an Atlantean manipulation, but it goes much further than that. So why the Orion presence here, realize that's one of the presences, others, but the Orion presence because they're more powerful, you can say. Some feel like this world is for the taking. And humans agreed upon what they can learn from the presence that's here. Advance yourselves. And there's a lot of hidden alien energies here that will surface slowly, which already actually has, just no one really can tap into it, understand it, because it's on a vibrational level. A lot of it is in the astral, but in the physical, basically, if you see people look differently in your third eye, if you just visualize, you just feel like your reality shifts because they can shift right in front of you. The elf people can just appear. Yeah, you can see them, but nobody else can see them. And yes, that would be very surreal. There's a possibility of something. I mean, they have abilities to do it. Not that they would do it, but basically appear to you, talk to you, and then just vanish. And you'll be the only one that's there. Just like you see your alien ships. Your aliens aren't the answer to everything. There is another side to it. Basically, how Garth was even placed here to begin with. Through war, basically to keep the Earth balanced from being destroyed. There's Shangri-La also. There's other fantasy realms there that are fourth dimensional. So that's with the magic realms, like a magic city. And realize, yes, those of you are connecting. Now, you don't have to have a full understanding of magic. Just realize that's how they keep themselves hidden. And a lot of this is far more advanced than the aliens. The aliens are advanced, yes, but the beings controlling this earth have a lot more power. And the aliens can't always access all. And not to say they want to. So it is hybridization. It's evolution. Humans here have created a whole nother race of human that are now in other worlds that you're just evolving, going to the next level. So it just many remembering the alien energies, the secret space. That's all just a diversion to keep you from what's really going on here. Because they're not going to make it easy to find because the Agarthian energies, much of that is locked. So what you discover is what you discover. Greetings to you. We are the Arturians. We're also connected to your human consciousness. Those have reincarnated here from the Revolutionary War. A lot of them were aliens, actually. They had an intuition. I mean, incarnated as a human, but they had an intuition of navigation. How basically they had a lot of psychic people during that time. A lot of intuitive people, just your regular people. A lot of them were male. Some of them are actually elf people. They basically you get a sense of what they're going. But basically, they knew when they're going to lose a war, when they're going to win a war. At least some idea of it. But you didn't have GPS or anything like that, so you had to use your own abilities, understand the stars and all of that, but also just understanding your senses. Many were actually very in tune themselves. Not everybody, but quite a few. Those are going through past life traumas. Yes, are living the war again. Well, if the war happened again, they're going to be ready for it. Because a lot of those that have all this arson, all these weapons, died very quickly during that war. And so they don't want to have that happen again. So they're kind of scared of dying. Not all of them, but quite a few. And that is a major wound. It's like, why do you have all these weapons? What's really going on there? And they're not always ready to reach to that. Not yet. It's trauma. And why would they want to connect to some kind of alien being or a past life? It's like, that sounds weak. That sounds very feminine. And many are not really interested in that. Even some of the female warriors during that time. The female warriors during that time are very masculine. And yes, they probably could take on an army. And that's fine. But there's just a lot of soul searching. That's where healing the traumas of different wars is World War II. World War II, that trauma is going to go on for some time. In this century, others in that future century, it's going to take a while to heal something like that. And many are still healing the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. It's not something you just let go. It all depends on your position, but some still want to go back to that war and win it. They want to make up for what it lost. Once again, many did lose their lives during that time. And that has to do with also the civil rights situation. A lot of those are part of the civil rights are actually part of that Revolutionary War too. So they incarnated during the civil rights movement to heal that. Of course, it wasn't an easy healing, of course. Interesting though, George Washington has some of his energy at Martin Luther King to kind of make up for the slavery situation during his time. Well, during the Washington, D.C., you could take it wherever you want. But slavery is kind of like, as much as I want to help them, we have other things we got to deal with first. So it didn't want to really, it's like, how many battles we need to fight? It's like that wasn't his war. It could have been done better. So I believe some of his energies went into Martin Luther King to repair some of that. Martin Luther King was very much a leader. Doesn't mean that was Washington, George Washington's next incarnation, but his presence was definitely there, fighting a different war, a war without muskets. Maybe just a war that should have been fought to begin with, a war without violence. So, yes, you're coming a long way. There's still more to go, of course. But yes, you go into the alien revolution when people start remembering their alien lifetimes and feel like they're going insane. That's already happening now. So, this is. Greetings to you, the Pleiadians. Realize also there is a great deal of Syrian energy within the Hindu energies of your past or currently. Yes, the blue people. The Syrian Pleiadian. A lot of it was why are Pleiadians talking about this? Well, as we're still healing, the Pleiadians are always healing their frequency, keeping the vibrations high. As some Syrians was like, let's go deep into everything. There should be still blue people currently, but the earth changes frequency. You can't see them so much anymore. So if basically you can use your senses to feel if a person looks blue or not. I know that sounds a little strange just saying that, but at least on a vibrational level, you'll see more of that. Like you look at a person and they turn blue for a second. It's like, did I just see that? Some Indian people are blue people too. So it's just, it was high vibrational energies that just went away. It just couldn't. It just couldn't stay alive here. It just vanished like the aliens vanished themselves. So there's a whole nother history here that you're here to unravel. And possibly in your future humans, yeah, more people will start changing their frequency. Realize your world has to stop fighting among each other, especially in the family world, which many are still. Well, it's funny about families though. A lot of them feel like they're not fighting. It's like this is normal. I guess it is to some level, but you can find some peace. You have the Revolutionary War within the family. A lot of families are beating each other up and don't even realize it. I mean, they call it normal. They're just a dark side within themselves. I mean, demonic possessions that have not been healed. But when that starts to heal, the earth begin. Yeah, that's when humans start to shift their vibrations, and a blue child is born, a pink child is born. Yes, it gets very strange there. The eyes are become somewhat bigger, and you're just a lot more fluid. What you have now is the hybridization energy shifts, not in a bad way, but you become less dense and become, yes, a little bit more cartoonish, you could say. But first, they have to end the war within society, and we believe that obviously it can't happen, but society is still, it's like you might not have the war on the, with cannons and all that, but they have it at home though. And healing that, some don't want to make peace, as you could see. I guess if they have muskets and all that, then that took forever to heal too. But wars in the family last longer for centuries, thousands of years, and nobody's addressing that. Well, they are to a certain level. That's why I'm psychiatrists. But it's just another way of, if humanity wants to allow that to be seen, be healed, then you have a different world. But for the blue people that are here, some of you can remember those vibrations, especially those that lived under the sea. Mermaids had kind of like a bluish, a light blue energy. Lemurians had a blue energy connected to them also. Well, it's like a light blue. It's not exactly dark. Some are dark blue. It all depends on the vibration of the person. But also realize with that color, you're very telepathic. You have a sonar about you also. So it's like, yes, you might see a dolphin in the sea, but you feel like, wow, that's a brother or a sister. Because you're just a human version of a dolphin, basically. And so on. Even technically, your mer people are dolphin people. Well, there's different types of mer people, but many of them are dolphins. It is in human form. It's another way of looking at it, at least. And a lot of them are a lot lighter, funner to be around. Funner. We use that word, funner. But this world, a lot of the reason why there's so much depression here is because, yes, the truth of the soul is not unraveling. First off, humans say, oh, that's not true and all that. But if you created like a church where everyone's bizarre and just allows all that weirdness to come out, it might not be called a church. You can just call it whatever, just somewhere strange, and allow all that to release where you can just be yourself. And then that's when you start to have this revolution of change. Right now, people are still in hiding for good reason. You can't be yourself here because humans are so disconnected, but it will be a time where just letting yourself out. Yeah, there are bee people here. The bee people here are very strange, yes. Well, yeah, buzzing and all that. Yes, it's very bizarre. You have crocodile people here also. The crocodile people are usually riding bikes. Those are the bikers. They wear a lot of leather. They like being cool. Some of them are crocodile people, not all. Sometimes the Pleiadians have a lot of reptilian. They're just, yeah, some of them become bikers. They have a lot of insecurities, but still they want to feel cool in some form or another. Right. This is